So I started watching this show, and it wasn't. I just ran across it, so I started watching it, and I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because I'm gonna give spoilers about it. So I don't want to talk particular about the show. The strange thing is it's on Netflix. So if it's on Netflix, we know it's not really trying to disclose something so we know about it. It's kind of like, oh, that's just a show. That's not real. So they kind of put it out there. So that's just a show. That's not real. So, in this, it is, strangely enough, about corporate big pharma and how many people they kill. And the, even at one point, this guy even tells the one guy who it's his pharmaceutical company. I don't know if he's the CEO, the developer, or whatever, because he is in charge of certain drugs, and they hide this stuff from us about what happens to some of the people who take the drugs. Like, a lot of people die. That is hidden. Like, you just look some stuff up and you find out, like, the drug companies are hiding a lot of bad things that have happened to people from taking the drugs. And there was one thing they couldn't really hide. I don't remember. I think it seems like it was. I know it was an antidepressant. I think it was. It was a really popular one. I think. I can't think of the name of it, but it was like all these people were taking it, and it was making them kill themselves or have psychotic episodes, and I think maybe there was some other murders going on. So this is kind of like one of those. And I think the one they're talking particularly about in this movie is Haldol, but I think it was I wish I could think of what it was called, because it kind of was a joke for a while. Everybody was on this drug, and then they started developing more drugs, because I'm pretty sure this one was having so many bad side effects, because they're fucking with this. So the this rich family has all the money in the world, no fucking morals or anything like that. And this outsider guy comes in, and he is under a false name or something, a false identity. So you don't really know who he is, but he's young. But he is telling this girl who is a family member of this, like, your dad's a gangster. That's what all these people are. That's what this world is run by. And all your money, which they live in a giant mansion with everything. Their parties are like those elegant, she's up there playing Mozart or Chopin or something like that to entertain these upper echelon aristocrats, right? So she and this guy says everything you own is blood money. He's yelling at the dad, you disgust me. Because the dad's trying to split them up, of course, because it's two different sides of the track. But I was also thinking, this is why they keep their circles so tight. Why they don't let outsiders in. Why they investigate anybody that comes in. Because they don't want their kids to know what kind of, where their money comes from. I think just even watching The Sopranos, as they get older, it's like, what? My dad's a gangster? He kills people for a living? You mean I live in blood money? A lot of them don't have any idea, where their money comes from. They really think that they are just like, fancy rich folk. No, your dad kills a lot of people. That's how he gets money. And so in this, when they're bringing up all these issues, I think it's because all these issues are about to come right out. And I think they are presently just coming out right and left about, what's going on. And one of the things too that, I find interesting, one of the ways they kill somebody is they just run past them and bump into them. Just bump into them. That's how easy we are to take out. So, they have little tiny needles. They have, they use aerosols, all sorts of stuff. Yesterday my mom was asking me some advice, because a lot of times she'll ask me stuff like nursing questions, about, because she's older, a lot of her friends are older. Well, what about this? What about that? What's this mean? What's that mean? So she was asking me about lung blood clots all in their lungs. And none of those. They knew better than that. But they got the dreaded flu, which, no, that's a beard. It's not real. It's just to encapsulate a whole bunch of different stuff. So, because flus don't give you blood clots, I don't give a fuck what they say. They don't. I don't care. It's not what's going on. So, yeah, that's what I said. Flus don't give you that. I don't care what they're saying. And this guy didn't have any of those. And I keep trying to tell people that all the things that are in here, they're giving them to us all the time. Another point they made in this too was they're talking about AIDS. It's just funny, huh? You bring that up. Oh, one thing too, they show a poster of this politician because, of course, this rich gangster's son is a politician. I mean, why wouldn't he be? And it's supposed to be, his presentation, his show or whatever it is called when they go up and speak to a bunch of rich people for $50,000 a plate or whatever. And as they're showing the front of this building with his picture and stuff, they put these big signs going, sold out. Like, got that right. So, anyways, the thing is when he's talking and they're having a lot of flashbacks, but somebody is talking and it's while Reagan's president. And they're saying, he can't even say the words. He won't even go on and say the words, AIDS. And I was thinking, now, when I hear that, now I think, oh, it's because he knew. He knew it was created. He knew it wasn't an accident. How could he say it? Because it would have choked it out of him. I mean, when you know you're lying about something, it shows on your face. So I think that's why he wouldn't have been saying anything about it. He knew, the Frau fuck was already doing this shit. Was already coming in from the labs. So, I think this show is, I don't know if it's trying to distract us. I mean, what's crazy too is, they keep having these same actors and actresses keep being in everything. And you've got them just all coming out now like, oh, well, you guys should just be willing to let prices rise because we're in support of the Ukraine. I'm going to sit up here in my mansion while you don't have dinner, but it's okay if you don't have any money. I've got money and I'm good, but I think that you guys need to go without, so to prove that you care. So I think, and the thing is too, is a lot of, these entertainment folk, Stephen Colbert, that guy is one sick little son of a bitch. I mean, there's footage of his weirdo ass. Yeah, he likes them small and young. Probably prefers boys. I mean, he had a whole bit, he had a whole bit about eating babies with Clinton in a restaurant. Yeah, he's sick. So, and he's telling us all, we should be grateful that we are having our prices raised because, it's going to a good cause. I think that a lot of these people who follow them, you know, the liberals, if you want to call them, you know, liberals, I call them the brainwashed people, the the people who are stuck. I think that some of these people are so outrageous in the nonsense they say. You know, there's people who don't have food and jobs and can't afford to buy gas right now, and you're telling them like, oh, it's no big deal. You know, I'm gonna sit up here on my hill, you know, because they're the aristocrats, right? We're the peasants. They're the upper. So we're all the downstairs people, and they're the upstairs people. And I'm not waiting on those motherfuckers. So I think that a lot of them are being so outrageous right now that it's going to wake up a lot of people, because it's disgusting. And one cool thing too is more and more now, McDonald's has closed down all the McDonald's in Russia. Really? Aw. You mean they're not going to get to eat their 10% human waste product in their meat? Aw. That's so sad. I imagine that's why he's doing it. He wants you guys out of his country. He wants all the criminals out of the country. He's getting rid of the gangsters, you know, just like we want to. We just got them all. They're all around us. They're all infiltrated into our system. And, you know, America's like the last stand. Well, it's not just America. I mean, Australia's going through it, man. Fuck. Australia is getting so hit with the weather, the rules, just the nonsense. And, you know, I mean, I don't know what's going on in all the other ones. I just happen to know someone who's there. So, you know, I mean, it's kind of like, I think they're at their last stand and stuff. And, you know, these corporations are pulling free from Russia. Really? You think it's just you guys pulling free? You're showing them? Because I think it's the other way around. I think you guys are getting a little smacked down. I think you guys are getting put in your place by them. And, you know, I know it's going to domino effect for us, and we're going to all get to be free. I mean, right now it's like, you know, Russia's the place to go. It's probably the freest place in the planet. And, you know, but we're all headed to the same place. We're all headed for the corporations to go down. And it's just so funny how much they're talking about that in this show. It just is really like, this is weird. The show's brand new, just released on Netflix, and they're saying this stuff. So it's got to be part of the, either the White Hats have taken over Netflix, and they're long enough ago that they were able to make some shows and movies, which I don't think so. I think it's more just part of the whole programming system. And it's just so clear when you can see through it. But yeah, they're disclosing this stuff right before, you know, it's actually all the way on the surface so everybody can see it. So I don't know. It's just weird, because everything is just to fuck with our heads, you know. It's just to mess with us. So, you know, everybody lives in a state of confusion and depression and disconnected from themselves. So, I don't know. Today I'm going to go into town. It's so freaking cold. And I know the temperatures don't match what they tell us. Because the other day they said it was like 49 degrees and it felt like it was 30. It was so freaking cold. And, I don't know, it's kind of light. I haven't seen any, you know, any illumination discs come my way yet. But there is a lighter gray outside. But I'm going to drive into town and pick up groceries because payday. So I'm going to go pick up a bunch of groceries, got a bunch of extra kind of stuff. Because, you know, who knows? I mean, look what they're doing to the gas. Who knows what they're going to do? I mean, I don't know how long all this is going to take. You know, I think it's going to go, it's going to keep going faster and faster and faster. You know, more and more of these corporations are jumping on the bandwagon to go against, you know, the Russians. But, you know, these are all the ones. I mean, it's just so crazy, too, because it should be just the same as these, you know, entertainment, you know, that the one side of entertainment who's out there trying to, lead us down a dark path. And I don't know how many of them have a gun held to their head and how many of them just do it because it's in their heart. And they're just as evil as the rest of them. Or, they're scared of what's going to come out on them. I'm not sure. You don't know each person's thing. And like I said before, the people who have something, on them, that they're scared people are going to find out the truth. There's redemption. You just show, show your truth. Be honest, redeem yourself, start changing the energy, start doing good. And because, that's all you can do, really. We all make mistakes. We all do stupid ass shit. And the whole thing is we just need to fess up to our stupid ass shit. We just need to face ourselves. And yeah, some people don't accept you and some people will. That's on them. Has nothing to do with us. Just like the same thing was what I was talking about yesterday. When somebody's calling you names, you're the one who gives them power. It's you. Who cares if somebody's throwing words at you? You've got to know what's in your own heart and stuff. So, I think that the same thing with, all these corporations going against them should be getting some of these people to question things. But some people are just like right on the bandwagon. It's so crazy how much people want to, send hate out. It's just projection of hate and bitterness and, destruction. They want to see people suffer. Like, fuck them. And they don't even realize, like, this is what we're talking about when we talk about, like, we're back in, 1940. Like, that is what the general mood was in, That's how they got people to turn against their neighbor and stuff. They fed that part of the beast. You got both sides inside of you, just like that Indian kind of folklore, whatever, you've got two wolves inside of you. It depends on which one you feed. And, that is a sentiment that goes through all sorts of cultures and stuff, You have both inside of you. We all have both inside of us. Our soul is made up of both. You come into an incarnation and you choose which one you're going to feed, although it is already designed. It's already going to happen the way it's going to happen. So you make the choice before, and whatever part you're playing makes no difference to the whole scheme of things because, it's part of the learning, it's part of your development. So, but if you're trying to grow as a person, if your internal is leading you to growth and spiritual connection because you are focused on that aspect of self that is for this this transition into the age of Aquarius. Your soul will guide you towards the healing. And it is just, realizing that you have both inside of you. It's which one you feed. And so you need to accept everybody, for who and what they are. And realize they're all playing a part. Like, see, this is where stuff gets so complex. Because we have one perspective in life, but there's a completely different perspective when you're not incarnated. In each incarnation, you're going to have a different perspective as well. So I don't know. I would just say people who, go in and listen to me, that you are wanting to heal and stuff. And just remember, you have both inside of you, and if you have been feeding the one and you didn't realize you were, and the other one was getting smaller, I think that is kind of like how they get people cut off from their soul, is to just keep feeding the beast, And that is how they got people, chasing fame and fortune and power and greed, and because all of those things, when you go to the other side, it leaves so much devastation behind. So I mean, it creates poverty. There's no balance when you are when your desires are led by the darker beast. When you feed the light, it changes. I mean, you can't just feed the light either, because you will get out of balance then. It is all about finding that balance. You can protect yourself, but also be nurturing and giving. So it's finding a balance all the time inside of yourself. And when you are connected, you will start hearing or feeling the bigger message to life. And we're in this transition, and it's so significant because it's showing us so much stuff. Like, people should be seeing by their attitude which one they're feeding, but they are not at all. It's like this insatiable beast is inside of them, and they feed it with so much hate and so much it's not just hate, it's like anger, and it's like they just wish so much ill will on people. You don't agree with me? Then fuck you. Die, motherfucker. It's like, what the hell? So it's it's just so crazy. But this show is just really tripping me out. It's just in the whole thing, where they can kill us that easily. They could just, I mean that could be a part of what certain things are inside of us, like that black stuff, that crawly ooey ooze, whatever that they're putting in us. I'm sure some people have more and some people have less. I don't know. I've never held a magnet up to myself. Maybe I should try it. I talk about the magnetized people. They're just the people who held one up and saw. Probably we all have some sort of it. I don't know. You just gotta go to put a magnet all over your body. Where does it stick? Where does it stick? But then, that's where like that ooze is in you. And the whole thing is that they are just, they're filling us full of poison all the time. And, yeah, I don't know what it's just weird. It's so weird, because I had heard, I think it was all last year, I was hearing about, this aerosol thing. And I think it was after that, there's been a couple of truth speakers that have been just died suddenly. I think quite a few of them. And they had gone to some things where they were already talking about some sort of an aerosol. And they believe that this aerosol that they are doing in public places is killing people. Yeah, I think so. There's definitely... Yeah, I mean, they can run past you and bump into you and just put a little, I don't know what it is, they didn't show, but the guy had clothes on. Whatever it was went through his clothes. So did she run past him and then bump into him? Because it wasn't like a fall on him. It was a swipe, like run past him and swipe. And then within, 60 seconds, he was on the ground dying. So... we can't sit here and just, like worry about every little thing. I mean, anything can take us out. I mean, we've been being full of poison for a long ass time. And just remember, no matter what, no matter when we are leaving this, transitioning out of this reality, it isn't real. It's not death. It's not permanent. It's just, leaving the stage and, going on to another one. So, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. This whole thing is just so crazy. Who would have ever thought any of this in 2019? Even in 2018? You never ever would have seen any of this coming. And now it's just, as it unfolds, it just is like, it's just so expansive, you know? I mean, like, I think there's so many people who, were bitching about the toxins and stuff in the food, but when you really start coming to terms with they're doing it on, I mean, when they're going in and pouring into vats of food that they're going to sell, people wearing hazmat suits to have to use the chemicals, like, there's no like mistaking what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, it's all just keeps coming together more and more and more. And, all we can do is just keep trying to take care of ourselves, have a good attitude. Remember that you can't, I mean, you can die. And, I mean, there's a lot of people who die who, have a positive attitude. So, I can't say, well, just, stay positive and you won't die because, you know, I, if your time is up, it's all depends on your contract, it all depends on your expiration date, so there's no way to really know anything. But all I know is to keep yourself healthy and feeling good and feeling positive. That is comes from inside, where we have to just, stay with a good attitude. Even if this is, our last days, what do we want to do with our last days? We want to sit and watch the news fuck with our heads. We want to sit there and cry all day like, oh my God, it's going to be over. Like, why would you waste your last time, doing stuff like that? You got to just enjoy your life and stay with a good attitude and have fun and do stuff you like to do. Because no matter what, we never know when our time is up. They can't take it away from us early. And they really have no control over it. We have control over our soul contracts. They have control over this reality, but we come into this reality willingly because it's for experience, because we know that we're not, I mean, there is no real end to us. This is only leaving this reality. It's just like dreams, which, oh my God, last night I had the weirdest dream, which I don't even know how I got to have any. I've been up since 2. But, at least I got one good night of sleep. It was kind of good. Even though yesterday I was still falling asleep in the middle of the day, sitting in the chair. It was like, oh my God, I'm fucking exhausted. Which I'm kind of feeling like it's something with the energy. It's something what's going on. It's all of it. It's all connected. Everything is connected. And there is something to the energy. And I know it's affecting Stella. It's just so draining, Like, I haven't even been able to, well, I still can't do the crocheting. I don't know. I really jacked up my thumb. I think I've got like tendonitis. I'm sure it'll clear up. It's not broken off or something. But I can't even get myself to want to do my drawings. I was so into like working on my little coloring book that I'm going to develop. And now I'm just like, I feel like I'm always sitting around like in a fog, just kind of exhausted, looking for something to watch, looking for something to do that isn't too draining. Sometimes it just feels like, getting up to walk into the bathroom seems like a chore, or getting up to fill my glass with more water. It's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And it has got to be something with the energy, with the frequency, the poison, all of it together. So, and I'm not going to give up. I don't give a shit. I don't care if they walk in here with a freaking gun and, I don't care. I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep on, enjoying my life and, doing what I want to do. And I would love to, go out to dinner and do stuff like we used to do back in the day when we thought we were free. The neighbors telling me the other day that they went out to a restaurant and there was packed. It was a 20-minute wait to get in, and it was just packed the whole time. And I know that there's more people who are starting to see like there isn't really something that they need to worry about. But also I am in a place where they think that even when it's lifted, they're going to keep wearing it. So it's confusing to me. It's like, how do these people's minds work? Because I don't want to go out and just go, I don't know. have people be making my food. I want to know what's in my food. I don't know. There's just so much stuff to everything that is so confusing. Like, I get you want to go back to your normal life, but it seems like, do you know anything that's going on? Are you paying attention to anything in the world? Are you just focused on what the news is telling you? Because that seems to be the primary thing, that they just, believe what they told. They don't look into anything. That just would be a conspiracy theory shit, That's crazy. Why would you look into something? I mean, if it's something you need to know, the news will tell you. It's so funny, guys. Yesterday I was talking to my mom, and it's like, you remember, or she brought up, I remember when we used to watch the news and you could trust them. I was like, yeah. You have Walter Cronkite, everybody's gather around to see what he's saying. Who knows if he was telling the truth? I mean, this whole world has been built on deception just to control our energy. And so, anyways, there's just so much stuff. Yeah, I just don't get it. I'm not going to go in the grocery store. I put in my order, just pull up, pick up my food, which I'm kind of digging the whole thing here. You do my shopping for me. Because you know how much you spend when you go in and do the shopping for yourself? You just spend extra on bullshit things. This is on sale, that's on sale, grab this, grab that, even though you don't need it. You just spend more money just going into the market. And they set it up purposely so that you will do that. The whole thing with their end caps and stuff is all to pull you in. Shopping online and picking it up saves money, I think. Or at least the money that you're going to spend all goes towards stuff that you want or need, not what they tell you is on sale. It's so crazy how they know how to mess with. I mean, it's all so formulated. They have such a strict formula over controlling our minds and our psyches and, keeping us in an unconscious state. And I don't know. I mean, this is just... it's just going to keep going. I kind of yesterday, my dream, it was so weird. And I don't think I can remember it, but it was definitely about this. And it definitely didn't seem like a dream. It definitely seemed like I was somewhere else. And it was a totally different reality. And it had to do with what's going on. It was weird. And when I woke up, when I come out of these trances or whatever, it's very weird because it's so real wherever it is I'm at. And then when I come out of it, it's always like, I forgot I was here. Like, where the hell am I? I always feel like that for a minute. And this was in the middle of the night. And another thing too that is happening to me while I'm sleeping, I'm aware all night. I feel like I'm aware. I'm thinking. I'm talking to myself in my head, but I'm not talking to myself. It's like that soul meet body when I said that. It's like there's a whole conversation going on inside of me now, and it also involves, outside of me. And it was like in this dream, I was even taken in a car, but they were showing me something, and when I woke up, it was like I was really there. And it was the middle of the night, and I can't remember stuff in the next morning. I should have wrote it down, but I walked into the bathroom. I think I got up to go pee or something, and I was tripping out. I was like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. That really happened. That wasn't, like, I was really someplace different. What were they telling me? What were they telling me that for? Why? And I was trying to understand it. And then I went and laid back down. I must have dozed back off. And I thought I was going back into that. And I think I did. I think I went back to wherever it was I was at. But, it sounds kind of nutty and stuff like that. But, when you are in that state where your body is asleep, your consciousness doesn't go to sleep. Your consciousness is busy. Your consciousness can leave your body and go other places. And you do have guides around you. You know, you go in and you ask them before you go to sleep. Talk to them. Ask them. Show me, you know, what your questions are. Like, show me what this means. Show me what that means. Clarify this. Clarify that. And they'll go and show you. And sometimes it'll give you peace in your mind. And then sometimes it'll raise questions like, what were they showing me or telling me? But I had that happen that one night when they showed me that one thing when I went to bed. And then I kept asking them. And then the next night they showed me, you know, the whole thing. So I probably will do that tonight. Like, if that was something I needed to know, you know, I need clarification because I can't remember what it was they were trying to show me. It was really, really weird. But it was so, but it definitely was. The overall message I do remember was there's nothing to fear. There's nothing for us to worry about. Everything is going to be okay. I know that was the overall message. I remember that part of it being about peace. It wasn't like where I keep seeing these people having these, you know, dreams of horrible disasters and bad things happening. It was definitely not like that. It was definitely, you know, it's kind of more like, here, we're going to take you for a ride in the car and show you some stuff and explain to you, and then, you know, let you know everything's fine. Don't stress, everything's fine. And, you know, I know that's the message I need to constantly be putting out. And I think that, you know, that messes with some people's minds and they think, okay, then, you know, there will stop being death. But that won't stop because, you know, people are going to come and go out of this reality. Death isn't real. Like, death is only what they have tried to get you to fear. Because, you know, when you live in fear, you're willing to go and support all the drug companies. So, and all the drugs on the street and out and liquor stores and, you know, shotgun stores and everything. So, anyways, I know that there's nothing for us to fear. I know everything is going to be fine. More and more is coming to the surface. More and more is exposing itself. And, you know, I think a lot of these people who are so stuck and so much into the, yeah, fuck 'em kind of attitude, they're going to find a lot of shame. They're going to be really embarrassed and humiliated when they see the truth and see what side they were on. And they're going to feel so, I heard betrayed loud in my head. They probably will feel betrayed, you know, but they are going to feel, I know they're going to feel really, really stupid. And, you know, most of the people who are trapped, it's all about ego. You know, there's only certain parts that make us up. And, you know, we're not that complex. You got ego, you got a soul, you got soul contracts, you know, you have lessons. But inside of us, you know, we have this receiver and a processor. You know, it receives and processes. And we have emotions. We have, I think that there's some memories that are kept inside the hard drive in our system, you know, because mine got swiped. But you can also pull in memories because all memories are kept outside of you as well. There's a library of all your memories. There's a library of everything about you. So you can pull from your inner knowing so that you can have understanding. Because when you're communicating, people, I think like, you know, it's like this overall God. No, you have that piece of God inside of you, but your higher self is another higher aspect of the God particle. That is where you're communicating. That is where you're getting your information, is from your higher self, from your higher aspect of self. And I can't tell everybody where their higher self, how high their higher self is, because it's all by vibration. But that's why your soul goes through so much stuff, because it's raising your higher self's vibration. It's moving your higher self up. So that is how you get so much more information, is where you have so much more available to you. so much more understanding. But it's all your learning that creates this new knowledge for self, because it's passed down to you. If that makes sense, like it makes sense to me. But people are so caught up in the 3D idea of life and death that they don't really go into things and think about them much. They don't go in and look up and read about stuff. Like, just takes going in and start reading about reincarnation. I actually saw a tarot person. I like to do the pick a cards, which totally trips me out because I don't go in and look for them. They just pop up for me. And it can be from 3 to 6 choices, and all different readers. Thousands of different readers do them. And somehow, magically, I can pick the same message over and over and over and over again. I get the same message all the time. You have communication. You just have to tune into it. But when I was listening to her, she was saying something about reincarnation. This is somebody you've reincarnated with a lot. And she goes, but for those of you who don't believe in reincarnation, just don't pay attention to that part. Just, if reincarnation is just too weird for you, that's what's sad. Is like, that's far-fetched. Jesus come to save your soul. No matter what crimes you do, Jesus will save your soul. Don't worry about it. Do what you got to do. And Jesus will save your soul. Just call his name and you're good to go. So that makes more sense to people than to think like, flowers come back. They come from seeds. The seeds come from the flower, makes another seed. The flowers that can come back, the tree, all of this stuff that gives rebirth. And that, they don't understand us to be a part of nature. Although, these people are trying to claim their trophy, the humans, but we're fighting, and we will get our freedom. That's what the Age of Aquarius is all about, is our opportunity to live free and be free. And, but all you got to do is just start looking into stuff. Stop looking into Western medicine and Western religion and all that stuff. Start expanding your mind. Go read about, go read Muslim Bible. Go read the Hindu. Go read the, one time I went to a bookstore and I got all these different books of all these different religions. And, I was going to read them and see like, because they're all the same. It's all these religions too are developed to control us, and keep division. But there is truth in all of the different ones. But you have to go in and look through things, That's where you have to get over biases. You go in and you look through things, and you have an inner knowing. Your inner knowing will tell you the truth. But if you keep yourself limited and not looking, not expanding, then you're not going to know any more truth than what you're focused on. And most people are focused on lies. They're not focused on the truth. You have to be an explorer for yourself, to want to understand more, to want to dive in and understand what life is all about. And, just start looking into things. And I'm telling you that the stuff about near-death experiences and reincarnation, and that show, that guy, that Marcus DiStefano, he says so many things that I believe really can expand your mind. So, and there's tons of people out there like that. He's not the only one. He's just one I ran across. Like, you can go out and go into bookstores, libraries, online. You can get all sorts of books, tapes, audios. There's so many different ways for you to, I have a whole bunch of different words going into my head. But it is expanding your knowledge so that you can understand about what everything is all about to your understanding. Because, like, I could be talking about something and be like, oh, that's crazy, because maybe you're not at the same level of my understanding, or I'm not at your same level. So that's why you got to look through a lot of different things, a lot of different people, so you can find what makes sense to you, because that's what it's all about. It's all about you. It's all about your expansion, because I know, where I'm going. I know what life's all about. I know what everything, I have peace. I feel good, and I don't live in fear. I honestly, I don't live in fear at all of, dying or death, or, what's going to happen. Are they going to blow us up, or, are we all going to be in camps, and all this stuff that people say. I know that this is a transition. I know in my heart what all of this stuff is about. But if you want to feel it inside of your heart, not just, listen to someone talk about it, just start doing a lot of research. Just start looking into things that other people would have usually laughed at you about if you were like, oh, I'm reading about reincarnation. I mean, there's still people that be like, oh my God, you crazy person. Telling you, start reading in stuff. Start looking up about aliens. Look up about the Sumerian tablets. Look up about our hidden history. Look up about the fake moon. Look up about it's just so expansive. Like, you start looking into one thing, it's just going to start leading you down more and more rabbit holes, so you can see more. And you don't have to just look up about, but so many people are focused on this world and looking up about what this world is all about, because there's so much crime and people are just waking up to it. But, everything that is going on isn't just about that. That is what we're leaving behind. And if you need to look up about it and go down those rabbit holes, I wasn't, trying to do that before. I just kept seeing stuff during 2020, when all of that stuff was coming out. Look up about this, look up about that, look up about this. There's so much, and that's where you start seeing, like, oh my gosh, this is all a fucking system. This is all just a complex system to keep us trapped, to keep our minds trapped. And, I wouldn't be awake to it at this point if it was going to keep going. I wouldn't be awake to it. None of us would be waking up to it. We'd be a part of it, because that would be what we were here for. But right now we're here to wake up from it, to process the pain from being in it, and to realize what life is all about. That's the main thing, is to realize what life is all about, because we've been living a lie. We've been living their lie, and now it's time for us to understand who and what we are. And I swear to God, she keeps me up all night, and then she just goes and sleeps all day. And I swear to God, I could go, as the minute I lay down in this chair, I even go, yesterday I even went and got a pillow. You get all cozy, put your blanket, turn on some movie that's not loud, and you start falling asleep, and instantly she's like awake. Like, what is your sensor? Oh my God damn. It's like having a freaking infant again. And I feel bad, because I know it's her legs and stuff being stiff, like when you are stuck in one position and it just hurts to move. And I know that's what she's going through. And I feel bad, and I feel really bad because I'm such a grump when I get woke up. I'm grumpy today because I'm really tired. And so everything, she just wants this and wants that, cries about this, cries about that. And I'm just like, oh, and I hurt her feelings, because she knows that I'm irritated. And her feelings, she'll just go and run in the other room and lay on the bed like, I don't even want to be around you then. You're so mean. Oh, I feel so bad. But I can't hide who I am. I'm grumpy if I get woke up. I'm grumpy if I'm tired. I feel like I just need some sleep. But every time I try and sleep, she wants me to wake up. I just feel like, I don't know. She probably is in that vibration where she's got all of that. Like, if you thought about energy, and you thought about it as being beings and evil beings and stuff, that wanted to stop, information from getting out there, what better way than to go up and keep somebody from getting to sleep and using what's around them to, constantly be pushing them and shoving them into waking up and keeping them on edge. That's part of this whole energy that is surrounding us right now. So all you can do is just keep taking care of yourself and, don't let things bother you. Don't get down about things, and like I was telling my daughter yesterday, you just don't get stuck. If you're down and you're sad, just don't get stuck there. You got to keep moving with the flow of the situation, because it's like fluid. It's like being in a stream, being in the water, a river. Some of it is just, it's like what is that? How do they grade those ones where it's the river when you ride those boat things, when you're going the rapids, when you go over those? I think they do it by numbers, like it's a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4. And some of this is a 4. Some of this is like, you better buckle up. And then it will go into a 1, and we'll be in a 1 for a long ass time. Just like, oh my God, is anything going to happen? How long can this go? And then all of a sudden, we're in a 2, and then we're in a 4. So, just, that's what everything is about right now, is this ride. And this ride is going to take us where we want to be. So we just got to hold on and, and just keep your endurance. Take care of yourself, because that is what is going to get you, to the end, is you. And know your limitations. Like I know I'm tired of shit, and I already being up all night, I could just quit talking about it being night and day or something, just in my sleeping hours or my non-sleeping hours. And I think I'm gonna have some sleeping hours at some point while there's daylight hours, because I feel so exhausted. I feel like I can't even barely talk. I can't think of words or anything. But I wanted to talk about that stuff in the show, because it's just like, this is really, really weird that they are giving this much truth in a show on Netflix, this close to these things really coming out to the mainstream. It's just, I don't know. Just everything is just weird. But, if the more you observe, the more weird shit you're going to notice. That's for sure. And, anyways, just all you can do is take care of yourself. And it is the race, what is that? The turtle? The turtle wins the race or something. It's, it doesn't matter how, it is just the stamina. You don't have to go fast. You don't have to do anything at any certain pace. You just have to get to the end. So, if you, need to take a nap every day, and, stay off the TV, stay away from people who trigger you, and focus on your own mental health, focus on your own physical health, work on your spiritual connection to self. And, those things you will be glad you did once we get through this and all of this bullshit starts, because it's all crumbling. They're doing it to themselves. They make like, we've got to do this and we've got to do that. No, they're doing it to themselves. All we have to do is be aware, watch, pay attention, be observant. Don't believe the bullshit. Pull free when you see what you need to pull free from. Like, I would have already taken my kids out of school. 2020, I would have my kids out of school. But you got to see. You got to see what you got to see, so you know what to do. And obviously, we can try and tell people and help people see what we see, but they won't see it until they see it. So it doesn't do us any good. It's kind of exhausting. It just puts us into a state of mind of, arguing and fighting and being pissed off. So, I'll drop some seeds, but I'm not going to go in and keep arguing with people and trying to convince them of what's going on. They have to see it for themselves. And you can pull out all the evidence you want, but they still think, they'll still pull up Snopes. No, Snopes said. So it doesn't do any good. Don't waste your energy trying to wake somebody else up. You know, they have to go through their experience. And if it is to be asleep to the very end and then have to be, you know, ultimately humiliated, that's what their soul wanted to do. That's what their soul mission is. So, you know, like I've said since the beginning, some of these soul ideas, soul missions and stuff, I don't understand them. I don't know why a soul would put itself through this. Like, obviously, I was like, you know, no, you're going to wake up early. Wake up early. The early bird gets a worm. I got to know what the hell's going on. So, anyways, you know, just keep on working on you and taking care of yourself, and, you know, be observant, but don't get caught up in it. That's what they want you to do. They want you to be caught up in it. They want to control your emotions because they want to provide the magic pill. So, you know, just take care of you. But we can't get away from the toxins in the food, I don't believe. I mean, there's, even the organic food is full of toxins. They just charge us more for it because how dare you want to be healthy? So, you know, whatever. We just got to get through this. I mean, just keep the eye on Russia because, I mean, they're all getting the freedom that we all desire. All of this stuff is going down there. Banks, everything. It's just like, they make like they're being punished, but those of us who know, that's the place to be. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.